for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads. Got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo and that gold. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah. So let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva. Them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot in a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is week 10 already in this year's football season. What a year it has been. And let me tell you what, folks, it is a packed house tonight here at the Crow's Nest. I mean, they've got chili, pot stickers, stromboli, barbecue cheddar burgers, veal parmesan. Let me tell you, I got the stromboli last week. It's one of the best strombolis I've ever eaten in my entire life. Whether it's first-class food, first-class service, or a first-class environment, you want to get down here to the Crow's Nest. This is the part of the show where I always like to thank our sponsor, Sposito Insurance. Dan Sposito and Sposito Insurance have made this possible this year. It has been an awesome year, along with help from the Detour family here at between Ronix and the Crow's Nest. It's been an amazing year. We've still got about one more week left on this show, but it has been an honor and a privilege to get to do this every single week here in one of the gems in Ashtabula County. Now, as we get ready, we're going to bring on our Week 9 Player of the Week. It is a senior from St. John. And let me tell you, the support that this young man has received is record-breaking for this show. I'm talking about an entire section of the restaurant just here to support this young man. It's one of the things that when I started this show, I always hoped to see it. I want to send a huge shout out to everybody who came out tonight, everybody who's come out already throughout this year. But tonight was really incredible. I knew there was going to be a ton of people here because I had to park further away tonight than any point for in this entire season. But enough about me and enough about this show. Let's talk about our Week 9 Player of the Week. It is a senior at St. John. His name is Sully Twining, and the young man had himself a night. We're going to bring him on the show tonight. 2 touchdowns, 127 yards. 2 of the rushes alone, over 50 yards. This young man had rockets in his cleats. Sully, what is going on? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. You know, so you go out there on Friday night again, 8 carries, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns, a bunch of tackles, getting everything done all over the field. What was going through the head of Sully Twining for your last home game as a senior, as a Herald?
It was the last home game. We had to get it done, I mean, I was just thinking there's really not a lot to think, Coach D and Coach Bento tell me I play better when I don't think at all. So,
So they take the thinking out of the game, and that's when you're getting ready.
That's when
So, there's been a lot of different lineup shakeups for you guys all year long. Now, a lot of transition this year. You've been a Herald all 4 years, but some changes this year. You guys seem to have gelled very, very quickly. What was that like for you?
It was like summer workouts really helped us get together every day and just, form as a team.
Yeah, building up that chemistry and that sort of thing. You would never be able to tell that you guys didn't play together because when you guys go out there, and I mean, I think it's evidence tonight. This is almost the entire team here tonight. What is the relationship, amongst you guys? I know I hear it at basketball games.
I mean, we got a few new guys. We got Gus Chase, Grayson and Ethan, and Manny Cooper, but he was out. Gus and Chase, great players, honestly. They played at Lakeside. They came to St. John, showed us what they had. We took them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Grayson and Ethan, big guys.
Yeah, you're not
Big
kidding.
guys,
Those are, yeah.
We saw what they had at Lakeside, and we were just happy to have them, honestly.
Let's talk a little bit more about Friday.
So,
So Friday you go out there. Now, you've played some time at receiver. You've played some time in the backfield. Usually they're bringing you in for those short yardage situations.
Yeah.
I know you're a bit of a head cracker. So, if they want a lead blocker, they call on Sully. But, you get the ball at about the 40-yard line, and the hole opens up like Route 11.
Yeah. Good.
And I saw some speed that, Coach Bento had been telling me about all year. Coach Delgosh had been telling me, this kid is one of the faster guys on the team. I said, I don't know. I mean, he's not slow, but I haven't seen it. You turned on the boosters. At what point did you know that play was special?
I mean, big guys up front opened the hole. I knew I had to take off, I saw a lane. I had to take it,
Now, Sully, I'm going to ask you. I didn't prepare you for this one. You have a tendency, even when the hole is wide open, to go look for a guy to hit.
I love hits, man.
Yeah. What changed on that one? Was it the fact that you knew you were trying to get in the end zone?
Yeah. We needed to take. We had a lead from the start. I just thought we needed it more, I guess.
So that, you do it twice. So the first one, it opens up. You're out there. I even watched you look back like, oh, there's nobody around me.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, the second time, what was going on the second time when, so for those of you at home who haven't had a chance to watch the game, it's a 60-yard rush followed by a 50-yard rush on I think one series in between each one of them. On the second time when that hole is wide open, were you thinking to yourself, like, there's no way it's going to happen again?
Too good to be true. That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no way. I saw the film. I saw DB. I went in, safety. I just cut right back.
So, a lot of running backs, a lot of skilled players, they like to give credit to the offensive line. You've already done that.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that you have a special relationship with that offensive line as one of those big monsters on the line. You get to see every day.
My little brother, yeah.
you're the little big brother.
Yeah, man. That's the little big brother.
The little big brother. You had guys like Milo and Grayson and the rest of that offensive line. What was practice like last week? Were you guys more intense? How did it feel getting ready for that game?
We knew our season was coming to an end. We wanted to show out for everyone, and we just put in the work, man.
Now, did you guys feel any sort of pressure going into this one? Because even though you weren't, you had a win. You guys went to Beechwood in a torrential downpour, and you guys figured it out there.
Yep.
But hadn't won a home game yet. Was there any pressure for you as a senior? Like, we don't want to be the class that didn't win a home game.
Yeah, 100%. We didn't win. We didn't win at all my freshman year, I don't think. And it just felt amazing. After the clock ran out, we started doing the Harold Jacks, man.
Wins on the road are fun.
Yeah.
A win is a win, right?
Yeah.
But the home wins, man, they just, you kids say they hit different.
It's the atmosphere, the energy, it hits different. It's
Plus aura.
Plus aura, yeah. Yeah, man,
So, you came into this year, and you've been a part of this football program for all 4 years. Even as a freshman, you were finding your way on the field, making plays.
Yes, sir.
But, things had to change this year. It's your senior year. What are some of the things you do in the offseason?
Train and just get better.
So you train and you get better. Any other sports?
I wrestled, and then I play baseball.
Wrestled and baseball. So, I'm going to ask you, this one is a softball question. How do you think wrestling helped you on the football field?
Definitely helps with tackling. Definitely really gets you into the body-to-body contact,
Yeah, I'll tell you, Sully, one of the things I think that sticks out the most about you is a fearlessness, and, you've had to fight through some injuries here and there, the shoulder, the ankle, whatever is bugging you, whatever's got you that day. But, your hitting never really falters. How do you keep that mentality? Or is it like you said, you just don't think about it?
Just don't think about it, man. If you think about it too much, you're going to play bad,
Yeah.
So I just try to play through it and not think about what I did wrong and go to the next play.
Now, what do you look at when it comes to conditioning? Because another thing that you've got going for you is, Sully plays the same in the first quarter as you do in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's always 100 miles an hour. It's always all gas and no brakes. What do you do to make yourself condition that way? Because usually it's getting cold.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season, it's hot.
Yeah. Cardiovascular training, honestly. Drinking a lot of water before games, Pedialyte, a little bit of Gatorade, really gets the body ready for it, man.
Awesome. So, you still got one game. You got a game against Matthews, and I think you, being on the Heralds this year, that the records really don't matter. A team is a team is a team.
Team is a team.
You know what I mean? You got to go out there. You got to play the games. What are some things that you're looking forward to when Sully takes the field for the final time as a Herald? We don't know if it's the final time.
A lot of yards, a few touchdowns, a lot of tackles, man.
Yeah.
Just looking for stats, honestly.
Get out there and get the win, right?
And that's a win with my team.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. End it on a high note. What is you as a senior? What is your favorite moment playing in the blue and baby blue and white?
Probably when we played Wyndham my junior year and we beat them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that has to be. I mean, you talk about that game where it comes down to the final play.
Yeah.
The final play of the game.
Yeah, it's definitely something I won't forget because, I mean, we left our heart on that field, and it showed, I think.
Yeah, and, even this year, you guys, I mean, obviously haven't won as many games as you'd want to, but you talk about your guys' game against Wyndham where you guys go into overtime.
Yeah.
And Wyndham, who just finally takes their first loss last week against PV.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about Steubenville Catholic where, I'll talk to you amongst friends. You guys got smacked last year. This year, It comes all the way down, and obviously it didn't go your way. But, was there a different mentality going into these games? Because you guys seem to play different. You guys weren't afraid. You guys went out there, played your game, and you guys made them play your game.
We definitely prepared for the best and the worst. And even though it didn't go our way, we still played how we'd always play it against any team. And
a lot of people say it's hard to take anything from a loss, but I think you guys found out some things about each other, about yourselves.
Sure.
So, we're closing down on the year. There's still a lot of time. You're still a very young man. You got a lot of things ahead of you. What are you looking to do maybe after high school?
Go to college. I want to get a job, good paying job. Maybe play football in college.
Mm-hmm.
Good team. I don't know.
So if you get the chance there, and if you get the chance and you get the choice,
mm-hmm.
Offense or defense, which one does Sully like to do more?
Oh, well, probably offense because you can crack heads and get yards and get touchdowns and celebrate. Defense is just cracking heads, man. Defense is just cracking heads.
Outstanding. Any idea of anything you want to do, like in college, major-wise, or you're going to play that by ear?
Probably something business.
Okay.
Maybe something that'll make money, a lot of money.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Listen, nothing in this life is free, right?
That's what I'm saying, man.
I'll tell you what, it's been awesome getting to watch you. I've got a unique, I guess, overlook of guys like you. As my daughter also a senior, so I've gotten to see you guys since you were kindergartners running around playing flag football. It's been awesome to get to see it. It was awesome to get to see Sully have his moment at home in that final senior game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here in Matthews. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, our player of the week for week 9, Sully Twining, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns, getting the job done.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions. WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
The feeling when my hands are on the piano, it's become comforting. It's somewhere that I can express myself. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is playing music. YSU is allowing me to take what I love and turn it into a career and do it every single day of my life. I'm Alyssa and I'm YN proud.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats, because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% saved, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
All right, everybody, we are back after the interview with our player of the week for week 9, Sully Twining. Again, what an amazing game that young man had. And one of the things I love the most about high school football is when you get those senior stories like that. You know, this is a young man who, you know, he's contributed in every single game that they've played, but we haven't seen those breakaway touchdowns. We haven't seen those big-time plays. And then like magic on his final home game, he gets out there, 2 rushes, both of them over 50 yards behind an offensive line that played absolutely lights out. It was an amazing game. It was fun to watch. You know, I got a chance to call it with, you know, my fellow broadcaster, Scott Demos. It was just an amazing, amazing experience getting to see that. We'll be right back to it this Friday as we're going to head down to Vienna when the Heralds play the Matthews Mustangs for their season finale. Now we're going to get into my favorite and most controversial part of the show, where we're going to get into our stat leaders for the county. Now, tonight we're going to have our passing leaders, we're going to have our rushing leaders, our receiving leaders, and our tackle leaders. We've got our tackles for loss and our sack leaders, as well as interception leaders being calculated right now. Take into account that we do our tackles on this show a little bit different than you may keep track at home. So for each tackle, the way it is made, a solo tackle is 1 point, an assist is half of a point, sacks and tackles for loss are an additional point. That's where you're getting your numbers. The assist number is a lot of times where the difference is. Some teams give you a full point for an assist. We only do half of a point. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the stat leaders here, YSN Ashtabula. All right, everybody, as we always do, we are going to start with the passing leaders. Now, our passing leaders this week still remains Dylan Burlingham on the top, 88 completions for 1,309 yards. He's got 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Our second place this week is Lakeside's Omar Ambris with 86 completions for 1,154 yards. A big jump for Ambris last week. He's got 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Coming in third is going to be Conneaut's Colby Stiltner. He's got 105 completions for 1,010 yards, 10 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Coming in next is going to be J.J. Dufour over at Edgewood. 46 completions for 766 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. St. John's Vin Narducci comes in next. Right behind him, 700 yards with 4 touchdowns on 63 completions. And then behind him is going to be Sammy Goforth, 45 completions, 679 yards. He's got 7 touchdowns. Goforth, I'll tell you what, had a really good night on Saturday night against the Heralds. He's a young man that has a great arm. He does a great job of extending the play. He got pressured all night by a vicious defensive line that St. John was bringing in that one. I'll tell you what, I don't know who spent more time in the backfield, whether it was Goforth or those defensive ends. It was an impressive showing for the Heralds, but Goforth kept his wits about him, made some big plays, made some great throws for the Grand Valley Mustangs. And then rounding it out is going to be Ryan Croston from PV, 30 completions, 661 yards, 7 touchdowns. Our rushing leaders for this week is going to be PV's Ryan Croston, 126 carries, 1,352 yards, 8 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a quarterback. You want to talk about the dual threat. Ryan Croston is the guy. When it comes to his running ability, it's unmatched. Right behind him, another PV guy. It is the true running back in that backfield, and Ty Vickery. He's got 150 carries, 970 yards. But this is where the difference is. When the going gets tough, they go right to Vickery. He's got 15 touchdowns on the year. Matthew Webster, or Webby, as he's known around parts in Jefferson, 152 carries, 942 yards, 10 touchdowns. Webster has truly came on in these last couple weeks. This was a very pass-heavy offense for the first half of the season. They start leaning heavier onto the run, and Webster is right there to pick up the slack, grabbing yards in bunches. He's one of the hardest running backs I've ever seen when it comes to for people to take it down. You're always talking 2-3 guys to bring him down, and he's always straight ahead. No matter what, it's very rare that he's going to be tackled in the backfield. And for that, the Falcons have made him a 942-yard running back. Isaiah Bowles from Conneaut comes in next, 159 carries. He's got 883 yards, 4 touchdowns for him. Andrew Soltis in Grand Valley, 870 yards on 166 carries. He's got 10 touchdowns for the Mustangs. Ryan Williams from St. John, who has been their running guy. That is the guy when they need to get the yards. It's been Williams. He's been a bulldozer all year. 104 carries, 604 yards, 5 touchdowns. It's been a different look for the Heralds this year. You know, you look at last year where they passed the ball an absolute ton. This year they're going to a more run-heavy offense. And, you know, Williams has got 600 yards. Narducci's got 400 yards. Anderson's got almost 400 yards. A lot of rushing yards going on in that offense. This Heralds have changed it around, and they've found some success. Devin Miller over at Lakeside, he's got 68 carries, 582 yards, 5 touchdowns. And J. Anthony Williams is going to round it out with 77 carries, 569 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Receiving leaders coming into this week, Paige Bozar at the top, 60 receptions, 815 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is there an asterisk next to that number 60? It's because 60 receptions is a Jefferson School all-time record. Paige Bozar set it in their game last week against Edgewood. I'm trying to get it verified because I think he may have broken the single season yardage as well. Paige Bozar has been a big play all year. When they need something from this offense, they know they can lean to him, whether it's coming in as a wildcat quarterback, going downfield, getting it. But I think what's most impressive is you look at 815 yards and you think they're all bombs downfield. A lot of these yards for Paige Bozar come after catch. He's a tackle breaker. He's got incredible speed. It's been fun to watch him all year. Coming in second right now, Ryan Turner, the center turned tight end for Conneaut, 45 receptions, 463 yards. He's got 7 touchdowns. Devin Miller, the running back from Lakeside, 25 receptions, 462 yards, 4 touchdowns. Josiah Pope has 20 receptions for Edgewood. He's got 432 yards and 5 touchdowns as well. Coming up right behind him is Jefferson's Devin Salinas with 30 receptions, 413 yards, 3 touchdowns. Will Anderson from St. John comes in next. 31 receptions, 378 yards, 1 touchdown. And this is a guy who has found a lot of time in the backfield this year. So, 378 yards when they put him out there in the slot. He's a dangerous weapon, particularly on that seam route. He's another guy that a lot of these yards are coming after catch. They find him. He breaks a tackle, brings it upfield, and makes it happen. Terry Brown, 20 receptions for 330 yards for the Jefferson Falcons. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's one of the biggest end zone threats in the area. I know he's only got 2 touchdowns, but good luck trying to cover that young man. He stands at 6'4". He's got almost a 7-foot wingspan. You throw a post corner to him, unless you're pass interfering, you can't stop it. Ben Shortfigure coming in next for Edgewood. He's got 21 receptions with 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then J. Anthony Williams is going to round it out with 17 receptions, 301 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Lakeside Dragons. All right, back to the tackles. Now, remember, we tally here a little bit differently. We have a new leader for the first time in about 3 weeks. It's Lakeside's Tyree Anderson with 77 total tackles on the year. Right behind him is going to be Conneaut's Josh Sabo with 72. And then Edgewood's Denver Kessler with 68. Grand Valley's Andrew Soltis comes in next with 64 tackles. Ryan Turner from Conneaut comes in with 63 and a half, just a half a tackle behind Soltis. J. Anthony Williams next on the list with 62 tackles. St. John's Will Anderson with 62 tackles on the year. And Nate Bartone with 61 and a half tackles. Michael Ochoa from Edgewood coming in next with 61 tackles. Those are your leaders for Week 9. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to get the final top spots, particularly in that tackle. That is always one that is hotly contested every year. I'll be interested to see who's going to win it. And we've got to start talking about postseason awards. I mean, we've got the Jared Bunch Player of the Year, which is a scholarship award that goes to the most outstanding senior player here on the YSN network. We've got the Matthew Hatchett Offensive Player of the Year award, and then the defensive award, which is the Sean Allgood Defensive Player of the Year award. Those 2 awards go to the best player offensively or defensively. It doesn't matter if you're a senior, sophomore, or a freshman or a junior. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to win those awards. I know and I want to get out in front of this, ladies and gentlemen. It's a stat-based award. These awards are stat-based. So if you put up big stats, we'll compare stats against each other. But stats are going to drive the conversation in that. So it's one of the things I take pride in because, you can't control your schedule. In some respect, you can't control your record. So stats are where those are going to come from, and we'll see how that's going to go. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to be giving those out at this year. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We've got some announcements coming on there. Let's go with a recap of the games from last week. So you had Lakeside go out there, and they're going to move to 3-6, 42-24, as they're going to beat the Conneaut Spartans, knocking them down to 2-7. It was a lot. Omar Ambras had a great game in this one. J. Anthony Williams did exactly what you think he's going to do. He 93 yards. Devin Miller, who has become an absolute monster all year for the Lakeside Dragons, 127 yards for him. Their defense stepped up. Tyree Anderson on the defensive side of that, which is why he jumps up to that number 1 spot. He had about 9 solo tackles in that game. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. It was a defensive game. They go out there, and their offense answered the call. Lakeside gets 42 points on a tough Conneaut defense. The Edgewood Warriors, the Hoadley Cup winner this year is the Falcons. Edgewood versus Jefferson. Edgewood has a comeback. They're trying to mount a comeback there at the end of the game. Runs out of time. Jefferson was just flat out electric. Matthew Webster was incredible in this game. When I talk about 3-4 guys having to take him down, this is what I'm talking about. The Edgewood guys, they were doing a good job of getting to him, but by the time you got to him, he was at the 5-yard, had already gained 5 yards, and then continues those legs moving. He's moving piles forward. It was an incredible game to watch. Larry and Scott on the call there. If you want to go back and check out the Hoadley Cup, it's really worth a rewatch. The St. John Heralds get their final home game win of the year, 26-8 over the Grand Valley Mustangs. And this one was a great game on both sides. The first quarter, not much scoring going on in that from either side. Both defenses are trying to figure it out. And then the senior, Sully Twining, busts it open. 60-yard rush for a touchdown. And after that, there was no looking back for the St. John Heralds. They started to feel themselves. You had quarterback Vin Narducci breaking out, throwing some touchdowns. He finds the freshman Gus Petros for his second touchdown of the year. Chase Newsome made his name well known in this one. Right off the gate, a 15-yard rush to start the game, and he never looked back after that. Ryan Williams, who had taken himself from the primary rusher to the primary blocker, was making wide open holes all night, and that's where St. John's offense is coming from. Over on the Grand Valley side, like I said, Sammy Goforth stretching out plays, making some throws that were just incredible to watch. It was a well-played game all night long. The Pymatuning Valley Lakers go out there 8-1 on the year now as they go 40-8 over Windham. Ryan Croston passing the ball incredibly well for a guy who is primarily a running quarterback. Ty Vickery is one of the most unstoppable guys inside of 10 yards in the count. That running back duo is one of the best I've ever seen, and this is a PV team that has been, playoff bound for 4 years in a row. They've won the NAC 6 years in a row, going against a Windham team that was undefeated. And PV answers the call. Their offense got it going, never looked back, and their defense, and that's what's most impressive. Their defense stops an explosive Windham Bombers offense and keeps them down to just 8 points in this one. And then the Perry Pirates, they take on West Geauga, and it was all Perry in that one. 63-7 in that one. Perry getting ready to take on Hawken. Perry is playoff bound, and I think they've got a deep run coming. They are in Division 4, which is an absolute bear of a region. You're talking Lake Catholic, you're talking Glenville. You never get a week off in that division. So the best of luck to those guys. Walter Moses is having another year that is just incredible. He's a big quarterback with a big arm, and we're going to be watching him play on Saturdays sooner than you think, as he is a Toledo commit. So he's going to be a rocket, going out there and showing off his rocket of an arm. Best of luck to this Perry team as they're going to be taking on the Hawken Hawks, who are also 8-1. I'm going to tell you what, folks, 8-1, but these are two very different 8-1 teams. Nothing against Hawken, but I just think that Perry is heads and tails above most of the people in this region right now, and definitely in the conference. I'm not sure that one is going to be close. I think Perry's going to end it quickly. Edgewood and Lakeside, 3-6 versus 1-8. The records don't matter. It's the battle for the bridge. Edgewood is looking to leave on a high note after a season that really did not go the way that they want to. Lakeside is trying to end on a 4-6 note on fire, 2 games to end the year. It's going to be J.J. Dufour, who has stepped into the quarterback role for the Edgewood Warriors, and he is throwing the ball well. He runs the ball incredibly well. This kid is just a pure athlete. Taking on J. Anthony Williams and Devin Miller and Nate Bartone and Omar Ambris and Sincere Turner and this monster offense of the Lakeside Dragons. Conneaut has a tall task ahead of them this week as, at 3-6, they get ready to take on a 6-3 Madison. Madison's 6-3, but if you look at the 3 losses that Madison has taken, they're all quality, every single one of them, including losing to Geneva last week, leading that game 14-0 at one point. And Geneva goes 21 straight unanswered to win that one. Come from behind victory. The Jefferson Falcons are going to be taking on the red-hot Geneva Eagles. The Geneva Eagles are 8-1. They're going to be home the first round of the playoffs. They're going to be home the second round of the playoffs as well. Regardless of how this goes, this is a team I think that's going to go very deep in the playoffs. They are in, arguably, I talked about Division 4. Division 3 in this region may be the most difficult in the entire state of Ohio. Ursuline, Chardon, Kenston, Geneva, Canfield. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. From the first round in this region, you're playing a team that is better than probably 70% of the rest of the state. So Geneva's going to have to earn every win. Jefferson can go out there, and I will tell you this, they've got something to play for. If Jefferson can beat Geneva, Jefferson's in the playoffs. So Jefferson's playoff dream is still very much alive, as they are going to be home against this Geneva Eagles offense. They can shock the world and extend their season by beating the team that is arguably the best in this county. St. John will be heading to Matthews to play a 1-8 Matthews, trying to leave on a high note. You saw this offense really come into their own last week. A lot of guys got comfortable. You saw Narducci getting comfortable in the pocket again. You saw Chase Newsome going out there and running the ball incredibly well. This offensive line blocked as well in this game as they have all year. So, playoffs are out of the question now. Now you're just playing for that final win, for that final taste of victory for this amazing senior class that they have over there. And then it's the PV Lakers taking on the Grand Valley Mustangs. PV 8-1, another team that is going to be home in the first round and most likely home in the second round. PV is another team I think that is going to be playing for at least an additional 2 weeks. This is a 13, 14, 15, could be a 16-week team in the PV Lakers. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out for them. I think PV is obviously going to be the heavy favorite in this one. Grand Valley's just having a tough year. I think there's been some changes, and they're trying to get, offensively they're trying to find themselves. And but the Lakers right now, the one thing in between them and the regional state championship is Kirtland. You talk about a big bad wolf. Kirtland is as big and bad as they get. This is a small town team in in Andover, and PV has been playing with the best of the best. They got tested against a very, very good Girard team, which is their only loss on the year. But other than that, PV has been on fire every week. And then again, like we said, Perry taking on Hawken. Perry, big favorite in that one. We've got a lot of things coming up this week. Week 10, it's hard to believe that we're in week 10 already. It's been an amazing season. I just want to take this moment once again to thank the Detour family, to thank the Sposito family. I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in each and every week. I want to thank all the families who came out to support Sully Twining tonight. This was the most support I've seen for a player all year. It was amazing. When this show, which started in my basement, when it came into my head about going to a restaurant and doing this live on location, this was exactly what I wanted it to be. I wanted kids to come here, and I wanted them to see what kind of support system they had. I want them to feel special for the moment. And, I think we got that done tonight with the support of all these families and other players. And for that, I'm super, super thankful. It's, it's going to be a fun week. We're going to see what we're doing with the awards and that sort of thing. I will make sure that that'll be announced on social media, how we're going to give those out, where we're going to give those out. If we're going to do our own little award show, I don't know, but we'll see going forward how we're going to take it. I want to thank you guys all, and make sure you guys tune in this Friday as we get ready for week 10 here in Ashtabula on YSN. My name is Sam Torres, ladies and gentlemen, and as always, this is for the 440.
This for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them goats. All from the fofo and that goat. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcons. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really doubt it. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them. Yeah, and Connie I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.